Hello, welcome to another reading update. And I just finished The Silent Corner by Dean Koontz. And as I said at the end of the last update, I wasn't sure about it, and it wasn't that good. It was interesting, and I'll read the second book at least. I might stop there if it doesn't get any better. But it wasn't that good. It was an average read. Basically, Jane Hawk, this is book one in a four or six book series. I don't remember. My dad gave me the whole series, so I do own them all. But we are following Jane Hawk, a FBI agent on leave, looking into the suicide of her husband and others. When I talked to you last, we still didn't really know what was going on, but it is a group of people. We still don't know who the people are, but we know there's a group of very wealthy individuals that are injecting people with self-assembling nano implants. And they are programming these people and animals. They have injected animals also to do different things. There is a Hamlet list, and those people they are injecting so that they kill themselves and their families sometimes. And some of them they are injecting to do other things, but they are able to program them to do whatever they want. And Jane has figured this out and is systematically going through these people as she finds them and basically killing them. The characters in the book, including Jane, there's no real characterization to them. They're just people going through actions, so you don't really care about any of them. The plot itself is interesting. It could be good if you cared about the people in the book. The writing's kind of blah. It's not it's just average. The only reason I'm going on to book 2 is because I was given the whole series, and I'll give it a shot. It could get better, but right now, if it doesn't get any better, I'm going to be stopping at book 2. I have gotten farther in Dungeon Crawler Carl, but I am still only in the tutorial phase, so I'm not that far into it. Only about 50 pages. He's just getting his tutorial of basically our exposition dump of what's going on and how the dungeon works. So far, so good. The chapter I ended on is where Princess Donut gets her voice. And now we have the talking cat that everybody knows about and loves in this series. So that's where I'm at. That I am about to start because I finished The Silent Corner, my very last book on my last TBR, Ghost Road Blues. That means, one, I get to pull out my next TBR, which is exciting. I always love that part of it. And I get to start another book, which I don't really know too much about. I got this one because it was a book club book, and I never ended up reading it for the book club. I just didn't get to it. So let's see. It is a horror. Jonathan Mayberry. It's a series. There's a trilogy, and it's the Pine Deep series, book 1. Pine Deep buried the horrors of its past a long time ago. 30 years have passed since a serial killer sheared a bloody swath through the quiet Pennsylvania village. Now residents and tourists enjoy the country's largest Halloween celebration in what is cheerfully called the spookiest town in America. But a month before Halloween, it begins again. Unspeakably desecrated bodies, inexplicable insanity, and an ancient evil walking the streets, seeking to shred the very soul of this vulnerable community. Yes, the people of Pine Deep have faced a killer before, but this time evil has many faces and the lust and will to rule. This struggle will be epic. So I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to doing another TBR. So I'll see you when I see you. Hello, it is now Monday, and I figured since I've already done some recording, I might as well give a quick update on how everything's going on my reading, even though I'm pretty sure I already updated you yesterday. Babylon's Ashes, I am at the stopping point for the first section of my buddy read, so 110 pages in, 10 chapters. We have met so many people. A lot of them are repeats from previous books, so you know who, or you're supposed to know who you are. I had to look one of them up. I was pretty sure we had already met her, and we did, but I couldn't really remember who she was. And then, 2 pages later, they explained it. But usually you're only following 3 people, and Holden, the captain of the Rocinante. But this time we are at 1, 2, 3, 4 and Holden. So it might be a little more confusing than the others. I'm not sure. And it's still basically just the introduction of what's going on, because we've only seen 2 characters' viewpoints twice. All the others are just their first chapter. So the wars started. They're getting things are getting together again. This is the 6th book in a series, so I can't really say too much. Yep, that's where I'm at with that. And a Dungeon Crawler Carl. I am now on chapter 14. The tutorial is over. Carl and Princess Donut are still wandering around level 1 of the dungeon. And chapter 14 is where the game actually starts. The tutorial is over for sure. The game actually starts because the premiere of the show is about to happen. And once the premiere happens, the game starts, the other levels open up, and no more just wandering around with the tutorial just trying to get experience points so you're not level 1 fodder. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm enjoying it. It is definitely RPG. I hear if you listen to the audiobook, it's better, but I don't have access to the audiobook unless I want to buy it, and I don't really want to buy it, so I'm just reading it. It has had me chuckling a couple of times already. It's fun. It's definitely a fun book. And yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And I started Ghost Road Blues last night. I was probably too tired to start this, so I'm going to probably restart it because I woke up this morning and I don't really remember anything that went on. Other than we did get in the prologue the what happened 30 years ago. Serial killer went through, killed 16 people. The migrant worker figured out who it was, killed him, buried him in the swamp, and was attacked. Coming back from that because a group of people decided, because he was out walking by himself at night when there's a serial killer out there, he was the one that was doing the killing. So they killed the guy that killed the killer. And we are following that group of people, the younger, they were teenagers when they killed the guy that killed the killer. We'll be following that group of people during this instance of the devil coming to town, basically. And yeah, like I said, I'm probably gonna restart it because I don't remember names or anything. One of them is named Crow. That's all I know. I was too tired. Need to restart this. But the writing did kind of remind me of the writing in Ghost Story, Peter Schwab. So if you read that and enjoyed that type of writing, you might like this. It's kind of dense. I'll let you know more when I get back to reading it. So see you when I see you next. Norman's here to help with the update for today. Figured I'd just hop on and say something. I meant to do it yesterday, but then day got away from me and I got tired and I didn't feel like it by the time I thought about it again. So I will let Norman take over the camera while I reach for the books. And come on. There we go. Start with Babylon's Ashes. Haven't read any more. Still waiting on my buddy read partner to read the chapters, so that's on pause. And then I need my phone for my notes. Not that I make decent notes, but I did make some notes for Ghost Road Blues. I am about halfway through it now. It is a very, very slow burn. I'm about halfway through it, and we're now getting to some of the actual story here. Again, a lot like Peter Straub's Ghost Story. So if you like that, you might like this one. Very, very slow burn, but it's building up the tension. There's 3 different stories it seems like we're gonna follow-ish. The first is Malcolm Crowe and his group. It's Val, his girlfriend, her family, Terry, his best friend, who is also the mayor, and I kind of lumped Tow Truck Eddie in there because they were introduced in the prologue together, and that story hasn't really kicked off yet. It's just starting here on page 214. It's oh fuck. Sorry about the noise in the background. I just realized it was going on, and I'm not gonna redo it, so hopefully it's not too loud. Anyway, so where was I? So it seems like Malcolm is gonna be like that's the coffee maker, the main protagonist of the story. I'm still not 100% sure, but he was a child when the last blight and killings happened, and he knew that the Bone Man, the one that the citizens killed thinking it was the actual killer, wasn't the killer because he had seen him. Him and Terry both saw them. That's why I lumped them together in the storyline. And Val was there also. They were younger than Tow Truck Eddie, who was part of the people who had done the killing. This is gonna be all over the place. Sorry. Where was I again? I'm losing my train of thought. Let's see if I can get the cat in there. There, that's better. Anyway, it's hard to really say what's going on because they're still just introducing everybody. So Val is introduced as Malcolm's girlfriend. She has a sister and a father. Marbury, I'm not sure how, his writing is consistent with Stephen King and Peter Straub's writing, so the men are more important. There's the sexism and all of that in the writing. It's the way that they write, that's the way they do it. If you don't like that, stay away from this one too, because yeah, there was a time where instead of just looking down, Val looked down past her breasts. Because you gotta, can't just say, oh, she looked down. No, you have to bring in it. Yeah. If you can't get over that, you're not gonna want to read this book. I'm used to that from reading a lot of Stephen King and some Peter Straub. Sometimes it annoys me. Other times I can just gloss over it and be like, whatever. Anyway, Val's family works a farm. That's what we know about her so far. Terry is the mayor. He owns the haunted hayride that Malcolm works at. Malcolm also owns a store. He was an ex-cop, is an ex-cop. And then tow truck Eddie, obviously, drives a tow truck. They all are having nightmares. They started a while ago when the new blight started. They all started having nightmares. And tow truck Eddie is hearing the voice of God, who is telling him he is the sword of God. And that's where we're at. And then another storyline is there were 3 criminals who are on the run, and they are driving through Pine Deep to get to somewhere. I'm not quite sure, I don't remember. But they're basically trying to drive through Pine Deep, but they have an accident. And 2 of them were shot in the crime they were doing when they got away. One of them died from the gunshots. The other one of them didn't die, he was just shot in the arm. But after the crash, the other 2 start walking, and he breaks his leg because he stepped in a hole. So he's left to basically wait for the 3rd guy to go to the farmhouse that is nearby and come back with help or a truck or whatever. And that's basically where we're at with that. And the 3rd story is a 14-year-old boy, Mike Sweeney. He calls himself Iron Mike Sweeney. He is the epitome 14-year-old in these stories. Doesn't get along with the other kids, smarter than the other kids, spends time alone, is an abusive stepfather, and an alcoholic mother. He's the paper boy, and on his way home he sees the car from the accident of the 3 criminals, but he doesn't go to the car. He almost gets run over by Malcolm, and Malcolm stops and gives him a ride, and that's where we're at. Basically, things are about to start to happen. Finally. And Dungeon Crawler Carl, You Will Not Break Me. We got that point. I have read past that point already. I am at, 47 hours till level 1 implodes, basically. And, yeah, still running around the dungeon, fighting things. It's what you would expect from an RPG. It's good, it's well written. I've chuckled, I've laughed. Some of the jokes didn't hit, but they didn't make me groan. It's not bad. They're still just running around, him and Princess Donut. And that's where I'm at as of today, which is Thursday. Hello, quick update here. I didn't really read anything else, but it's time to end this vlog. So, yeah, that's where we're at.